This is not a debate about any one religion. This should be clear to everyone. This is not a debate to declare one religion superior or another inferior. So if anyone is watching or has come here with that expectation, I want to assure you that you will be disappointed. In this debate regarding the excessive use of religious symbols, these two people who seem serious to you now are good people. They met over tea yesterday evening. There was a lot of joking between them, and a picture was taken while exchanging friendly banter. This is proof that compared to the uproar on the internet, these two people have agreed to debate in a very calm manner. Twitter discussions remain on Twitter. Elon Musk nowadays calls it X. And now the beginning of this debate with these scholars, although they don't need an introduction, it might be. We are taught in journalism to never assume. Science says the same.
Mufti Shamail Nadvi is an Islamic scholar and educator. He is the founder of the Vyas Foundation in Kolkata, graduated from the prestigious Darul Uloom Nadwatul Ulama in Lucknow, active in teaching and intellectual work on social media and public platforms, and currently pursuing a PhD from the International Islamic University, Malaysia. The good thing is that along with studies, they also create travel blogs. We saw the blog in front of the Petronas Towers. Oh, we have Javed Akhtar with us. Azad Charzanian, Javed Akhtar is a poet, a lyricist, writes prose, has written dialogues for films and songs. Apart from this, he is also vocal about scientific thinking and his declared atheism, and he talks about his determined rationality.
Ladies and gentlemen, does God exist? Everyone is trying to find the answer to this question on their own.
Some call it the search for the goddamn particle, some call it the search for the God particle, some call it the search for the Higgs boson. Some try to find answers to the question of how mass came into existence, what happened before creation, what was there before time. And some say that all these discoveries are happening in the brain, how it developed in the course of nature. I hope that today we succeed in Satsimo in finding some answers to these fundamental questions. First, I invite Mufti Shamail Nadvi to the stage. Please come, sir. You started calling Aman Rarich. Please put your phones on flight mode or silent mode. Just check this. Sometimes it happens unknowingly.
All praises are for the Creator who created this universe with a purpose. Respected Mr. Javed Akhtar, Mr. Saurabh Dwivedi, and respected audience, thank you all for being here today. Since in today's debate, we are going to talk about the topic, does God exist? Ek is ve ki in output at this way, batte. So this is a topic for which there can be different standards for making any decision. Therefore, at the beginning of the debate, it is necessary to know which standard will be correct and which will be incorrect for today's topic. The very first standard, which I believe our respected Mr. Javed Akhtar will quickly embrace, zam that tatkama tannas kasket didisaitramuki is science. While science in fact cannot directly prove or deny the existence of God as a standard. And what is the reason for that? I am not saying this. These are the people who are experts in science. The National Academy of Sciences says science doesn't have the process to prove or disprove the existence of God. Why? Because science is related to empirical evidence, and empirical evidence is related to our natural and physical world, whereas God is a non-physical and supernatural reality. Therefore, you cannot check non-physical reality with a tool designed to explore physical reality. Therefore, in today's debate, to prove or deny the existence of God, we prove whether God exists or not. But this standard is also irrelevant today. Why? Because revelation is a source of knowledge for me, a valid source of knowledge, but for our Mr. Javed Akhtar, it is not a valid source of knowledge. Therefore, in today's debate, I will not present any evidence. I will not provide from any religious scripture so that it is not unacceptable for Mr. Javed Akhtar. Third, the standard could be observation, where someone says, show us God, biset pa antay ki person santi. If it exists, show it. Or that provide empirical evidence of God's existence. So this is actually using the wrong tool. It's like Javed Sahab demanding from me, Mufti Sahab, show that you can detect plastic using a metal detector. Now if the plastic is not being detected, hence plastic does not exist. No, you are using the wrong tool. This tool is not used to detect plastic. Therefore, I believe that demanding empirical evidence for God's existence is a childish demand, and our respected Mr. Javed Akhtar has moved far beyond this stage. Now, only one standard remains, and that standard is logic reasoning. And this is the standard under which the existence of God will be proven or the existence of God will be denied. But since this is a very important and sensitive topic, the logical argument should also be such that it is definitive, not indefinite. It should be as clear as 2 + 2 = 4, which cannot be logically rejected. For example, we say our respected Mr. Saurabh is a human being. And all humans are conscious beings. So, what is the conclusion? Our Mr. Saurabh is also a conscious being. Is this an indefinite argument or a definite argument? This is a definite argument. It is as clear as 2 + 2. It cannot be logically rejected in any way. So, if today our Mr. Javed Akhtar provides any such rational argument and logical evidence about the non-existence of God that is definite, then I declare that I will certainly accept that evidence and consider it. But I also declare as a prediction that no one can present such a definite argument. We will provide arguments and definitive arguments. We will provide logical arguments. We will present an argument that the entire atheistic world cannot refute. Now let's think of an example, a scenario, a simple scenario. I request the entire audience, we are on an isolated island, Aino State. An island where no one has ever been before us. As you walk, suddenly you see a pink-colored ball lying in front of you. What is the first question that comes to your mind? So, ataiga tampitin tamna can see. Luwai ini palpu yare. How did quasi quality kortapatiera? And why is it pink? It could have been another color. Why is it this shape? It could have been another shape. Naturally, you will arrive at the conclusion that there is someone who has created this bowl with these specific properties and placed it here. Because you know that the existence of this bowl is not necessary. It could have existed or not existed. And if it had to exist, it could have been in some other form or color. Now, keep expanding this ball. Keep expanding it until this ball becomes the size of the universe. Tell me, will the question change just because the size has increased? Absolutely not. The question will still remain, where did this universe come from? Aya, in specific properties के साथ कहाँ से आया? क्यों आया? किसने बनाया? ये सवाल उस वक्त भी valid रहेगा. लेकिन ये सवाल अगर हम जनाब जावेद अख्तर साहब से करें, तो चूंकि इनका वर्ल्ड व्यू एथिस्टिक है, और सिर्फ इनका नहीं, मतलब जितने भी एथिस्ट हैं और एथिस्टिक वर्ल्ड व्यू को रखने वाले से अगर आप ये सवाल करें कि ये यूनिवर्स कहां से आया, तो इनका जवाब या तो आर्ग्यूमेंट फ्रॉम इग्नोरेंस होगा या डॉगमेटिक होगा. या तो ये कहेंगे कि मुझे नहीं पता कि ये कहां से आया, लिहाजा गॉड डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट, ये आर्ग्यूमेंट फ्रॉम इग्नोरेंस है. या ये कहेंगे कि ये यूनिवर्स खुद ब खुद बन गया. इसका मतलब ये है कि उस बॉल को भी खुद ब खुद बन जाना चाहिए, लेकिन बॉल के ताल्लुक से ये एक्सप्लेनेशन एक्सेप्ट नहीं की जाएगी कि ये खुद ब खुद बन गई, लेकिन यूनिवर्स के ताल्लुक से कर दिया जाएगा. इसे हम दूसरे अल्फाज में डॉगमा भी कह सकते हैं. दूसरी चीज, हमारे जावेद अख्तर साहब जरूर गॉड ऑफ गैप्स की मिसाल भी जरूर देंगे, और मिसाल देंगे कि पहले ज़माने में बिजलियां कड़कती थी तो लोगों ने किसी एक खुदा की तरफ, और बारिश होती थी तो दूसरे खुदा की तरफ मंसूब कर दिया, उनके पास दलील नहीं थी। यह हमारा वर्ल्ड व्यू है ही नहीं, यह हमारा वर्ल्ड व्यू है ही नहीं, क्योंकि नेचुरल फिनोमेना के प्रोसेस की इंटरप्रिटेशन को जान लेने से यह कहां से साबित हो गया कि गॉड एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है। इस पर मैं इंशाअल्लाह अभी आगे बात करूंगा। आप हजरात ये भी देखेंगे, और मैं ये एक्सपेक्ट करता हूं कि हमारे रिस्पेक्टेड जनाब जावेद अख्तर साहब जरूर इमोशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स भी देंगे, जो कि एक लॉजिकल फेलेसी है जब बात आती है ट्रुथ को डिसाइड करने में। क्यों? मिसाल के तौर पर वो कहेंगे कि अगर गॉड है तो इविल क्यों एग्जिस्ट करता है, जबकि मैं कहता हूं इविल का एग्जिस्ट करना गॉड के एग्जिस्ट करने की दलील है, उसके खिलाफ नहीं है। चूंकि अगर गॉड है तो हम सब उसके सामने अकाउंटेबल हैं, और अगर हम अकाउंटेबल हैं तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी के लिए इविल का मौजूद होना जरूरी है, उसके बगैर हम अकाउंटेबल नहीं हो सकते। और अगर हम अकाउंटेबल नहीं हैं तो हम जनाब जावेद अख्तर साहब से पूछेंगे कि आप बताएं कि फिर सफरिंग इस दुनिया में क्यों है? अगर खुदा नहीं है तो सफरिंग क्यों है? और उन लोगों के जज्बे का क्या जिनके अंदर सफरिंग के बाद इंतकाम लेने का जज्बा पाया जाता है और वो इस दुनिया से ऐसे ही चले गए, क्या उनकी सारी तकलीफें बेकार चली जाएंगी? अब आ जाएं उसी एग्जाम्पल की तरफ कि बॉल, मुझसे अगर कोई पूछे इस बॉल को किसने बनाया और या इस एक्सपेंडेड बॉल को किसने बनाया, मैं कहूंगा कि चूंकि ये यूनिवर्स और इस यूनिवर्स की तमाम चीजें कॉन्टिंजेंट हैं। कॉन्टिंजेंट होने का मतलब ये होता है कि जो अपने एग्जिस्टेंस पे किसी के ऊपर डिपेंड करती हो, तो जाहिर है ये यूनिवर्स कॉन्टिंजेंट है। और अगर कोई चीज कॉन्टिंजेंट नहीं है तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि मुझे दिखा दें कि कौन सी चीज यूनिवर्स में कॉन्टिंजेंट नहीं है, हम भी जरा गौर कर लें और हम भी देख लें। और जब कॉन्टिंजेंट चीजें मौजूद हैं तो फिलोसोफर्स की इस्तिलाह के मुताबिक, हम उस टर्मिनोलॉजी के मुताबिक हम उस जगह तक पहुंचते हैं और उस हस्ती तक पहुंचते हैं जिसे नेसेसरी बीइंग कहा जाता है, कि ये वो नेसेसरी बीइंग है जिसका मौजूद ना होना नामुमकिन हो। क्योंकि अगर ये मौजूद ना हो तो सारी चीजें एग्जिस्टेंस में आएंगी ही नहीं, और ये सारी कॉन्टिंजेंट चीजें उसी के ऊपर डिपेंड करती हैं। अब अगर आप ये सवाल करते हैं कि फिर उस हस्ती को किसने बनाया, फिर उसका कॉज क्या है, फिर उसका कॉज क्या है, फिर उसका कॉज क्या है, और एंडलेसली चले जाएं, इसे हम कहते हैं इन्फिनिट रीग्रेस ऑफ कॉजेस, जो कि लॉजिकल फेलेसी है। कॉन्सेप्चुअली इन्फिनिटी पॉसिबल है। मिसाल के तौर पे न्यूमेरिकल्स 1 2 3 गिनते चले जाएं, इन्फिनिट नंबर्स हैं। मैं कॉन्सेप्चुअली बात नहीं कर रहा, प्रैक्टिकली रियलिटी में साबित करके दिखाएं कि इन्फिनिट रीग्रेस ऑफ कॉजेस पॉसिबल हैं या नहीं। अगर पॉसिबल हैं तो हम मान लेंगे, मिसाल दे दें, और पॉसिबल नहीं है तो एक ही ऑप्शन बचता है जिसे हम कहते हैं नेसेसरी बीइंग। ऐसी नेसेसरी बीइंग जो इंडिपेंडेंट है, क्योंकि अगर वो डिपेंडेंट हुई तो वो नेसेसरी नहीं रहेगी। ऐसी इंडिपेंडेंट बीइंग जो इटर्नल है, अगर वो इटर्नल नहीं होगी,
its beginning will be, so it is itself contingent, also powerful, because power is needed to actualize the contingent. Also it is intelligent and knowledgeable, because this universe is running precisely under specific forms and specific laws of nature. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. After these arguments, I would request Javed Akhtar Sahab if you would like to speak while seated.
First, I would like to give Mufti Sahab some good news that my knowledge about science is quite limited, so you need not worry about it, but I do have some common sense. Look, this concept of God is not a new concept. It has been around for centuries. Some religions might be 3,000 years old, 4,000 years old, but humans have existed for about 10,000 to 12,000 years in the form of Homo sapiens. And there have always been some religions. These religions were not of the ignorant. This religion belonged to a Greek society where great philosophers were born. These religions were of the Egyptians who built the pyramids. These were of the Romans, whose architecture and Senate, meaning the first foundation of democracy, was limited, but it was democracy. These were done by those people. So there Jupiter was, Ra was, Zeus was. They were as strange to them as any religious person today would find their God. Before Christianity, there was a religion in Europe, the Germanic religion. It had a god, it had a wife, He had 2 sons and 1 daughter. Then when Christianity came to Europe and Germany, that God, his wife, and the entire family disappeared. So if we look at history, God is mostly funny. He hasn't always been there. And those who believed in them, you might say they were ignorant. They didn't know anything. That's not the case. In their time, they were very capable people and accomplished great things. They were philosophers, scientists, but where did their religion go? Where did their gods go? The gods that people believe in today. Who knows what will happen to them after many years? When we look at Europe, the churches are empty. So things change with time as far as it concerns religions.
Every religion asks one thing from you, faith. What is this thing called faith?
What is the difference between faith and belief? It would be quite naive for someone to say, sir, if there is a God, show me. That would be an ignorant statement. I have not seen the North Pole, but I believe it exists. Why do I believe it? Because if this world is round, then it must have a top. Some people have even been there. Common sense says it will be so. There is evidence, there are witnesses, there is reason. So this is not my faith. So, what is the difference between faith and belief? Every religion that believes faith means that there is no witness, no evidence, no rationale, no logic, no proof, yet you accept something.
This is faith.
Otherwise, it would be belief. If there were any evidence or witnesses, then it would be called belief. Like my belief that the North Pole exists is not my faith. Faith cancels all these conditions. So then, what is stupidity? If I believe something that has no logic, no rationale, no proof, no witness, if there is no proof and I believe it, then that is stupidity. I should believe tomorrow that Elon Musk is my brother. I would be happy. I would also feel very at peace. But if someone asks, why do you consider him your brother? What proof do you have, brother? He is American and you are Indian. You have never even met him. Sir, look, this is my faith. Talked about this. Faith means that you cannot prove it. If you can prove it, then there is no need for faith. Then you can argue as much as you want. Ultimately, every religion in the world is based on faith, and faith means a belief that has no proof, no witness, no rationale. Now you say this, why are you saying, who created this universe? Now, the amazing thing is that you mentioned going to an island and seeing a ball. You didn't say who made the island. You were only amazed by the ball. We weren't amazed by the island. Islands exist. Similarly, this island or stars, this galaxy, these are all islands. In astronomy, we take them for granted. We don't ask how they were made. You didn't ask about the island either, right? How was I born? Was I planned to be born? I was planned to be born. Or was it a lucky sperm that attached to one?
My birth is random.
And justice, as you call it, has nothing to do with nature. When you say that one day justice will be done, justice is a human concept. There is no justice in nature. If a lion eats a deer, there is no hearing for it. If a storm comes and uproots lush green trees, there is no jail for the storm. There is no justice in nature. Therefore, nature does not need justice. Nature is all one. Now, if we say, sir, look, the food I ate, it didn't do this to my intestine, it won't be punished for that. It's a system. It just works like that. Nature without justice is justice. This is a dehumanized concept. So whoever tells you that I will give you justice, that is a product of the human mind. It is neither natural nor divine. The concept of nature, the concept of justice, that's where you meet together. Now you drive on the left-hand side. What is this? All truth, all goodness, all nobility. It's left-hand drive. Otherwise, what will happen? Either you will cause an accident, or you will kill someone, or there will be a traffic jam. Lies, dishonesty, bribery. All of these are like driving on the wrong side. There's nothing above this. This is something we created, just like we created left-hand drive. This concept of justice is ours. It has nothing to do with nature. Does a lion get imprisoned for eating a deer? Nothing happens. It doesn't exist. So the justice that the world's religions promise you, it shows that it is man-made. This concept is not from anywhere else. Nature, some people say nature itself is God, but in nature there is no justice anywhere. And you are promising that you will get justice after death. If I get it, I will be very happy, but I cannot believe it because I cannot generate faith. The very fact that religion demands faith means that they do not have justification. It would be good then if religion is in moderation, any sub-religion. It might also develop some virtues in you. See, it has this benefit. That benefit.
Alcohol is...
It is used in most medicines. And a survey was conducted in America about the longevity of people. On one side were those who did not drink alcohol at all, and on the other side were those who drank a bottle of alcohol every day. The longest lifespan was of those who drank 2 measured pegs of alcohol and ate food. But we consider alcohol bad. I also consider it bad.
Why it doesn't happen like that?
People have a habit that grows. Until today, a person drinks milk. Even if you meet them after 10 years, they will still drink just 1 glass. It doesn't happen like that.
Keeps drinking milk since morning. Milkaholic, I haven't seen them. There are alcoholics.
This is the tendency of religion to grow. Like cancer grows, like alcohol increases, there will be some people who use it correctly. I am sure that our Mufti Sahib is one of them. I was very happy to meet them. But how many people are there that you see today in the world who are responsible for the destructions? Those people who, believers used to say religion does not say this, maybe it doesn't. But when they consume this religion, they behave like this. If it's a little, then maybe it's a very good thing. But alcohol doesn't stay a little. It has a tendency. If there are initially a few cancer cells in the body, then the person will remain slim. But those 2 or 3 cells do not remain. They multiply when all...
Time is up. Time is up.
So that's the end of it. Well, I didn't have anything more to say.
Yes, I am inviting for the first rebuttal round, Mufti Sahab. Rebuttal round 1, you have 7 minutes.
Thank you very much, Javed Sahab. We were very pleased to hear your words. Please, do you understand? We enjoy. Okay, now let's look at it a bit logically.
Actually, we requested yesterday from Mufti Sahab and Javed Sahab that the Hindustani language should be understandable to the general audience. And wherever you use difficult words, please explain them as well.
Thank you. So first of all, our respected Javed Sahab mentioned that God is mortal. Many religions have moved forward. Some considered Jupiter as God, some considered someone else. I say whoever considered a contingent thing as God considered it wrong. That is not God, that is not God. We are here to prove the necessary religion, that necessary cause which is eternal, which is both everlasting and finite. We are not here to prove anything else.
The second thing he said is that faith and belief are
This is a definition of faith that they have presented for the first time, or excuse me, they have not presented it for the first time. Richard Dawkins presented it for the first time. I know where this source is from.
Epistemologically, you cannot differentiate between faith and belief like this, sir. Faith, it can be right, it can be wrong. Belief can be right, it can be wrong.
The faith that is backed by logic, reason, and evidence will be correct. And the faith you are talking about is illogical and does not have that backing. We are on the same page. We do not accept that kind of faith which has no logic or evidence behind it. We do not accept it. We are convinced by that faith which has logic and evidence behind it. So belief can be right or wrong. Faith can also be right or wrong. So today we are not discussing the difference between faith and belief. Today, whether you accept faith or belief, today the discussion will be about what truth is. Whether true belief is right or true faith is right, and what false faith is and what false belief is. This is the topic. The second thing they asked, what is stupidity then? If faith, religion, stupidity नहीं है तो और क्या है? चूंकि faith का मुतालबा करते हैं तो stupidity क्या है? मैं कहता हूं stupidity atheism है. उसकी वजह यह है कि आप एक सड़क पे जा रहे हो और आप किसी गार्डन में जाएं और देखें वहां लिखा है फूलों के साथ I love जावेद अख्तर, and I really do. I love you, sir. So, जब आप वहां पर पहुंचे, तो वहां पहुंचकर अब ये बताएं, क्या आप ये कहेंगे, वाओ, व्हाट अ नेचुरल सिलेक्शन? ये क्या नेचुरल सिलेक्शन है? नहीं, ये प्रिसाइजली डिजाइंड है, इसके पीछे डिजाइनर है. लिहाजा अगर कोई एक ऐसी कॉमन सेंस की बात को कबूल नहीं कर रहा है कि यूनिवर्स जो इतने प्रिसाइजली काम कर रहा है, हम कह दें कि खुद ब खुद बन गई, मैं समझता हूं इससे बड़ी स्टूपिडिटी और कुछ नहीं है. ये रैशनल चीज है. फिर हमारे सर ने कहा कि आपने बॉल पे फोकस किया, आइलैंड पे फोकस नहीं किया. अरे आइलैंड को किसने बनाया यही समझाने के लिए तो बॉल की मिसाल दे रहा हूं. और बॉल भी कॉन्टिंजेंट है, आइलैंड भी कॉन्टिंजेंट है, दोनों नेसेसरी बीइंग का मुतालबा करते हैं. आगे इन्होंने कहा कि नेचर में कोई इंसाफ नहीं है. हम डिसाइड करते हैं कि मोरालिटी क्या होती है, इंसाफ क्या होता है. हम डिसाइड करते हैं, जैसे ड्राइविंग सीट में ट्रैफिक वाला, ये तो किसी खुदा ने नहीं कहा, ये है, इसे कहते हैं फॉल्स इक्विवेलेंस. ये एक लॉजिकल फेलेसी है. आपने जो है मिसाल दी ड्राइविंग की और ट्रैफिक की, ये सब्जेक्टिव मोरालिटी है. आप सब्जेक्टिव मोरालिटी को मिसाल बनाकर ऑब्जेक्टिव मोरालिटी के ऊपर नहीं थोप सकते. इंसाफ की ऑब्जेक्टिव मोरालिटी. अगर आप ये कहते हैं कि नेचर में इंसाफ नहीं है, तो इंसाफ का न होना ये नेचुरल हुआ, तो फिर नेचर को नेचर रहने दे. क्यों हम इतना स्ट्राइव कर रहे हैं दुनिया में इंसाफ लाने के लिए? ये तो इलॉजिकल बात है, इरैशनल बात है. इसलिए बहुत सी चीजें ऐसी हैं जो ऑब्जेक्टिवली जो है इविल या गुड हैं, और बहुत सी चीजें ऐसी हैं जो सब्जेक्टिवली हैं. सब्जेक्टिवली जो मोरल होता है या इमोरल होता है, उसको हम सोशल कंसेंसस से या पर्सनल प्रेफरेंस से डिसाइड करते हैं. लेकिन जो ऑब्जेक्टिव मोरालिटी है, जिसमें इंसाफ आया, जो इन्होंने बार बार रिपीट किया, ये ऑब्जेक्टिव है, सब्जेक्टिव नहीं है. अगर आप कहते हैं ये सब्जेक्टिव है, तो मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है, क्या सोशल कंसेंसस के जरिए अगर जुल्म को सही करार दे दिया जाएगा तो आप जुल्म को जस्टिफाई करेंगे? दूसरी चीज इन्होंने ये कहा कि 2 पैक शराब पी लें तो वो उतने पे नहीं रहता, बढ़ जाता है. यही मामला मजहब के साथ है. 2 पैक आप पी लें, बढ़ेगा. तो ये एक ऐसी मिसाल है, इसको कहीं भी फिट कर लें कि आप एथिज्म पे जब फिट करें, जब आप 2 पैक एथिज्म का लेंगे ना, तो वो बढ़ बढ़ के नॉर्थ कोरिया बनेगा. थैंक यू.
फर्स्ट राउंड के रिबटल के लिए मैं जावेद साहब को इनवाइट कर रहा हूं. आपके पास 7 मिनट का वक्त है, रीसेट कर दीजिएगा प्लीज.
मुझे इस बात की खुशी है कि मुफ्ती साहब ने भी मान लिया कि नेचर में कोई इंसाफ नहीं है. तो कोई भी चीज़ जो इंसान ने नहीं बनाई है उसमें इंसाफ नहीं होता है. एक बात मैं आपसे अर्ज़ करूँ, ज़रा पता लगा लीजिएगा, ये जो आप बाग में जाते हैं बेहद खूबसूरत फूल देखते हैं ना, इनमें से कोई नेचुरल नहीं है. ये सारे फूल क्रॉस करके बनाए गए हैं. जो जंगल में फूल होते हैं नहायत मामूली होते हैं. ये फूल इंसानों ने बनाए हैं. जो आप बाग में देख के वाह वाह कहते हैं, ये इंसानों के बनाए हुए हैं. डिफरेंट फूलों को क्रॉस करके, डेवलप करके, फिर क्रॉस करके इस तरह से बनाए गए. नेचुरल फ्लावर नहीं. किसी जंगल वीरान में जाके आप गुलाब के फूल नहीं देखेंगे. ये सब बनाए हुए इंसान ने. बहुत से काम इंसान ने किए, बाकी है कि आपने मेरी एक बात का जवाब नहीं दिया, जिससे मुझे शिकायत है कि फेथ क्या है और आप फेथ मांगते क्यों हैं मुझसे? आप तो लॉजिकल हैं, आपके पास तो सारे रैशनल्स हैं, आपके पास सारे सबूत हैं, तो आपको फेथ की डिमांड क्यों करते हैं कि भाई तुम सरेंडर कर दो और सवाल मत करो? कोई मजहब सारे सवाल करने की इजाजत नहीं देता है और मना करता है कि ज्यादा सवाल ना करो, बह जाओगे तुम।
Why do you stop? The reality is, what is human history? Human history is that there have been two kinds of people in the world. One, those who have worshipped their ignorance. The other, those who have fought with their ignorance and found out what it is. What you are saying, today you are surprised about how this universe was created. People were surprised. When the sun sets, how does it rise from this side? And you are ready to take one step forward to believe in forever. Take one step back. Well, you go after this. You say, don't question where this came from. This power will always remain forever. So what's the problem in believing about the universe? Stop one step earlier. We do not know if it always existed or not. And to say that we do not know, the amazing thing is that all the religion of the world know how this world was created, how it will end, and what will happen after death. They have all the knowledge.
They did not know that there used to be dinosaurs before.
No one.
In the religious books of any world, there is no mention of dinosaurs, but everything else is. How to make the universe in 4 easy lessons, and everything else is known.
The one who knows everything is mistaken. We should have this humility to say that we don't know many things, but we should not worship them, nor worship our ignorance.
Let's try to find out. The world you are sitting in, this hall, this electricity, this microphone, the airplane you came by, the car you arrived in, all these were made by people who ask questions.
This world in which you are comfortable today is made by those people who asked questions, and at every stage these questions
It was said incorrectly. Just read the history. There is a very interesting book by Barton Ellis in which he mentions since when religion has been against science, and to the extent that they were against the steam engine as well.
Fatwas were issued against them by the Vatican.
So, whenever these right-winger come to power in America, they, what do they call it? Seed, seed, yes, no, seed, those ones.
Yes, biotechnology.
Research on it gets stopped. The Republicans don't allow it. Oh, why are you so afraid?
At one time, all these religious people were very upset that humans are trying to become human. What is your problem?
Let them make it if they can. What is this fear?
And all this that you're saying today, it's impossible. How did this happen? I remember a story from when I was in 6th grade. I was very weak in mathematics. A teacher was appointed. They taught me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can never forget that day. The day he explained what 1/2 is and what 3/4 is, I felt like my head would split in two. This man is saying to go inside life while walking. Today I laugh at this. So today the things that are completely beyond your mind and you are amazed to see them, a time will come when they will seem ordinary. And it has happened. It's your human history. Don't make all the decisions so quickly. Keep a little humility that, well, we don't know this.
What's left to say in this? How far does this universe extend? Since when has it been here?
How long will it last? We do not know. You have decided. When was it made?
According to you, it was formed around 14 billion years ago, as is understood.
What will God do for billions and trillions of years before that? Sitting silently, taking such long pauses. Then the idea came, let's create a universe. Time will pass well.
Think. It has always been there, right? But the universe has not always been there. It was created. And what was there before that? What was its purpose? Oh, what a thing. This is a big sky. The things we are gradually discovering today. Someone told you 2,000 or 2,500 years ago what it was. You believed it. And since then you have been believing what was said 2,500 years ago. Everything has changed. Things are being solved. Science does not claim this at all right now, nor does any philosopher. That we know everything. Rather, it says that the more we know, the more we realize how little we know. So we fight our ignorance, establish it.
Yes, thank you so much. I am inviting Mufti Sahab for round 2 in the series of arguments. You have 7 minutes once again.
Thank you. Mr. Javed Akhtar is repeatedly asking to explain the meaning of faith. Explain the meaning of faith. I have explained it. Faith can be right, it can be wrong. And today we are not talking about faith. We are talking about truth and does God exist? Does God exist? This truth, meaning whether God is or isn't. Which of these is the truth? Now you can call it faith or belief. Not my business. After that, you said that religion stops you from questioning. I say, whoever stops, stops. I don't stop, rather, ask questions. We should ask questions. By asking questions, we progress and advance. And that's why I am here today. But the questions won't be just about God. There will be questions for you too, and for atheism as well. And the question will not only be about religion, it will be for everyone. And today I will ask questions and hope that you will answer. So far, you haven't really answered the contingency argument. Let's say, why not talk internally about the universe? It is logically not possible for the universe to be eternal. The universe is a contingent thing, bound by time and space. What is bound by time and space will be contingent. What is contingent will have a beginning. What has a beginning cannot be eternal. This is common sense. You wissen what's in dein da. You said that there is no mention of dinosaurs in any religious book. Unfortunately, I have not found any mention of dinosaurs in a mathematics book either. So does that mean the mathematics book is useless? No, that's not its topic. The topic of revelation and religious books is not to tell you how to make a bicycle or to tell you when dinosaurs existed. It came to teach morality. It came to tell about God. It came to teach the reality of non-physical reality. Religion does not stop science. If it does, it is wrong. Religion stops scientism, in which our Javed Sahab is different.
There is a difference between science, and scientism.
Scientism is the belief that science and scientific methodology are the only sources of knowledge. This is scientism. We reject this. We do support the progress of science. If you study our entire history, you will understand. Anyway, that's a different topic. Then they mentioned the word that the Vatican issued a fatwa. The Vatican has nothing to do with the fatwa. Both are contradictory terms.
Brother, we don't know. If you don't know, then clearly say that you don't know. What's the harm in that? So that's what I'm saying. Just say you don't know. But why claim that God does not exist?
You say you don't know. It might be, it might not be. But you are claiming. The moment you say God does not exist, this is a claim. And now the burden of proof is upon you. Like it is on us. And why it is, I will tell you. I will also tell you why it is. Philosophically, the claim is not just that a person makes a positive claim, and if they make a negative claim, there is no burden of proof. For example, if I say that there is no one in that room, I have made a claim of knowledge. There is no one in that room, us, by, no, I made a claim of knowledge. Understand? Either I say I don't know, it could be or it might not be. This is not a claim. But when I say there is no one there or I say there is someone there, both are claims and both have a burden of proof. We also have a burden of proof. I gave a contingency argument. Show me how to break it. The last thing they said was, what was God doing 1,500 years or millions of years before creating the world? Oh dear. Let's go. Anyway, I'll answer. You are a respected personality. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't entertain this at all. Time, whether 100 years before or 100 years after, before, after, now. These are words related to time. Time itself began after the beginning of the universe. So what was God doing before that? The question is illogical. This is philosophy. So you are saying, what was God doing before the universe was created? Before time was created. The concept of before is related to time. And time did not exist then, so this question is invalid. Regarding God,
The second thing is the argument of contingency that I have presented to you.
you repeatedly prove this and are saying God of the gaps. But earlier it was not known. Science has done it. Let me explain with a simple example. The gaps you are talking about, whatever science uses to prove those gaps will be contingent, whether it is force, matter or energy. Therefore, our question will still be valid until you reach a necessary being, and an infinite regress of causes is not possible in the practical world. Obviously, there has to be a stopping point. Wherever you stop, that is God. The second thing you mentioned, what was I saying? Which point? After that, just now. Wherever we stop, that is God. Anyway, so time was mentioned. God of the gaps, sorry. Or you can take an example of this. There is a car. A gentleman saw that the wheels of the car are so nicely fitted. The steering is placed in such a good position and the seats are so well designed. The car is working so precisely, so surely someone must have created it. Someone has created it. Now Mr. Javed comes and says, "Oh sir, open the bonnet. There is an engine in it." The engine is running this car, hands through which someone has created the car. This is logical. This is rational. You prove that gap with the engine, but does that the creation of the car and its creator becomes impossible? Is it possible for the question to end? It is not possible. By filling the gaps with contingent things, you have broadened our observation. Now we understand more that the system of this car is much more complex. We understood less before. Now the complexity has become even more evident. Now we understand that our certainty has increased that surely someone has made this car. The same is the case with the universe. Science will always continue to feel things of the physical world and will do so with physical things because empirical evidence is related to the physical world. You can never prove metaphysical reality through science, or using a color tool is like trying to detect plastic with a metal detector, which is obviously not correct. Thank you.
This is the second round of the argument, 7 minutes.
First, let me tell you that you said when the universe did not exist, time also did not exist. There was nothing. How was there nothing? God was there. There was an existence, right? There was God. So when there was God, there would be time too. It's not that there was nothing. There was God. All right, the rest is, what did you say, sir? You prove it. You have logic, or I have it too. It's not my responsibility to prove that God exists. Bertrand Russell said a very good thing.
Bertrand Russell said a very good thing. If I claim to you that a teapot is orbiting around Mars, then you...
आपका काम नहीं है कि आप साबित करें कि कोई चाय की केतली नहीं है. ये मेरा काम है, मैंने दावा किया है. ये दावा तो मजहबी लोग करते हैं कि खुदा है. मैं क्यों साबित करूं कि नहीं है? जब तक आप मुझे कन्विंस नहीं कर देंगे, मैं नहीं मानूंगा. आपकी जिम्मेदारी है, मेरी जिम्मेदारी नहीं है. दोयम ये कि ये जो आप कह रहे हैं, जो गैप्स हैं, ये गैप जब किसी मजहब को चैलेंज करते हैं, जब ऐसा कोई बात आती है तो हंगामा हो जाता है कि जब वो चैलेंज करें किसी फेथ को. ये तमाम साइंस जो है इसे मुख्तलिफ जगहों पे मुख्तलिफ वक्तों में मज़हब ने रोकने की कोशिश की है। ये किताब है रिलीजन एंड साइंस बर्ट्रैंड रसल की, पढ़िएगा, अच्छी लगेगी आपको। तारीख़ ही है साइंस, मज़हब की साइंस से उसका यही रिश्ता है। अच्छा, अब ये हम सोचें कि बहरहाल ये वजूद जो है मज़हब और ये बिलीव इन गॉड इंसान को बेहतर बना देता है, तो एक काम कीजिए, हिंदुस्तान वर्ल्ड का नक्शा लीजिए और मार्क कीजिए कि रिलीजन कहाँ कहाँ ज़्यादा है, कहाँ कहाँ, चाहे वो लैटिन अमेरिका हो या मिडल ईस्ट हो या फार ईस्ट हो या हिंदुस्तान के वो इलाके जहाँ मजहबियत ज़्यादा है। रख दीजिए नक्शा अलग। अब दूसरा नक्शा कि कहाँ कहाँ नाइंसाफ़ी, रिप्रेशन, औरतों के हुकूक की पामाली, जुल्म, डिक्टेटरशिप कहाँ है, नक्शा एक ही होगा। तो आप मुझे बताएं कि जो इसका तरकीब इस्तेमाल क्या है, खुदा का तरकीब इस्तेमाल तो बताइए। आप छोटी सी दवा सड़क पे बेचते हैं उसकी भी तरकीब इस्तेमाल बताते हैं, इसके इस्तेमाल से तो फायदे नहीं हुआ किसी को। जो सारे के सारे खराब मुल्क हैं, खराब समाज है, वो सारे जुल्म खुदा के नाम पे करते हैं। वो गलत करते हैं, सही करते हैं, मुझे क्या लेना देना उससे। इस्तेमाल से मालूम होता ना। एक विस्की की बोतल कभी शायद देखी हो आपने, लाल रंग की होती है, उस पर रोशनी और छिपड़ा इंतहाई खूबसूरत लगती है, क्या बिगाड़ रही है किसी का, उसका इस्तेमाल गलत है, इसलिए आप उसे नापसंद करते हैं। इसका इस्तेमाल गलत है, इस तसव्वुर का इस्तेमाल ही गलत है और हमेशा से गलत हुआ है। आप देख लीजिए, इंसानी तारीख देख लीजिए, आज देख लीजिए, हिंदुस्तान देखिए, दुनिया देख लीजिए, क्या हो रहा है। इसे कैसे इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं फेथ वाले लोग? क्या फेयर हैं, जस्ट हैं, जो अपने खुदाओं पे यकीन रखते हैं? वो किस तरह के लोग हैं? वो लोगों को इंसाफ देते हैं, वो बेहतर इंसान बने। तो इस दवा का फ़ायदा क्या है? चलो बहुत फ़ायदा हो रहा तो मैं इस्तेमाल कर लूँगा, मैं मुझे तो इस दवा का कोई फ़ायदा दिखता ही नहीं। मुझे तो ऐसा लगता, मैं एक और बात बताऊँ, अगर कोई आदमी मजहबी है और अच्छा आदमी है तो मैं उसकी बहुत इज्जत करता हूँ, इसलिए कि मेरा ख्याल है मजहबी आदमी का अच्छा होना मुझसे अच्छा होने से ज़्यादा मुश्किल है। भाई हर चीज़ की एक लिमिट है, आप इतना भाग सकते हैं, इतना नहीं भाग सकते, इतना वजन उठा सकते, इतना नहीं उठा सकते, इतना दूर देख सकते हैं, इतना दूर नहीं देख सकते। उसी तरह कॉमन सेंस कहता है कि आप में नेकी का भी एक कोटा होगा। अब आप अगर सुबह जाते हैं अपनी इबादत गाह और इबादत करते हैं तो बाहर निकलते हैं तो आप तो यही महसूस करते हैं कि आपने एक बहुत अच्छा काम किया, आपकी नेकी का एक बहुत बड़ा कोटा खर्च हो गया जिससे किसी का कोई फ़ायदा नहीं हो। मैं तो नहीं जाता हूँ तो मुझे तो किसी को खाना खिलाना पड़ेगा, किसी बेवा की मदद करनी पड़ेगी, मैं अपना कोटा कैसे कंज्यूम करूं? आप अपना कोटा सारे मजहबी लोग इंतहाई यूजलेस कामों में यूज करते हैं। उसके बाद भी अगर आप में बच्ची है थोड़ी सी शराफत, तो भाई वाह क्या बात है।
एक तो मुझे ये बात बहुत अच्छी लग रही है कि दोनों ही विद्वान समय को मानते हैं और बहुत समय से अपनी दलीलें और बाज दफा समय से पहले अपनी तकरीरें पूरी करके अपनी अपनी कुर्सी पर बैठ रहे हैं। ये इस आर्ग्यूमेंट का राउंड 2 पूरा हुआ। अब रिबटल का राउंड 2 है और उसके बाद क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन होगा। नहीं, आपका आर्ग्यूमेंट हो गया सर। हमारे यहाँ स्कूल के सिलेबस
The story Panch Parmeshwar by Premchand is taught in these. Rest assured, I won't let you miss any round. The rebuttal round is yours, Mufti. Shamal Nafiz, you.
The real problem is that Mr. Javed does not have a clear concept of God. He said that God existed before the universe. Even then, there would have been time. This time itself is a part of the universe.
We believe in that God. It is necessary for the necessary being to be timeless since he is the creator of time. When he created time, how could he himself be within time? When he created space, how could he himself be within space? If he is already bound by time and space, then what did he create? Therefore, the question is wrong that if God existed, then there would be time. Absolutely not. God is not bound by time for us. We are related to the physical world. That is a metaphysical reality. Another thing, they gave the example that a teapot might be floating in the air, and perhaps they referred to Bertrand Russell. Anyway, this is the problem. The problem is that we cannot differentiate between things.
The example you gave is imagination, and what I am proving is logical necessity. If you want to imagine, you can imagine anything. There could be a pink elephant on Jupiter, a unicorn. What difference does that make to the universe? You cannot prove logical necessity with that. I am talking about the prime cause, the necessary being without which the existence of this universe is not possible. Another thing is that religion is challenged by science, etc. This is not even our topic. If I talk about this, then my time will be wasted because our discussion is not on religion. Science to religion, and specifically I and our worldview do not at least lag behind science. It condemns scientism. I have already explained the reason for this. The second thing they said is to take a map of the world. Take a world map of 2 different places. Sir, I did this homework and I took a map of the Middle East and a map of Europe. This religious area and this illiberal and atheist area, I found out that the most rape cases are there. I found this out. According to the UN report, not from my own home, that among working women in European countries, 81% of women are experiencing sexual harassment in the workplace. This is not happening in the Middle East. They are religious people, that's why it's not happening. Another thing, you said that it is very difficult for a religious person to be good, much more difficult than for us to be good. So this means that apart from God, you have no standard for good and bad. I would like to discuss this in a conversational style discussion and segment. Thank you very much.
This is the rebuttal round 2. You have 5 minutes, and after that, we will start the cross-examination. If you wish, you can also answer the questions they asked in the rebuttal.
Yes, yes. Look, first of all, this example is not wrong. It is wrong. They have already disarmed us. They said, this matter cannot be solved with intellect. You cannot reach it with logic. It is a metaphysical thing. Metaphysical is a strange word. No one knows its meaning properly, so it seems like something big.
Hey brother, what does metaphysical mean? Stand up. This is a word that is used anywhere. When you are talking and arguing with me, don't tell me it's metaphysical. Prove it to me logically, and if you don't talk logically, sir, this is metaphysical, then what are we even talking about? In what language will our conversation be? And saying that time was not there before, then why do we say it always was and always will be? Time is always there. So how do you say it always was and always will be? Always means sometime.
If there is no time, then how always?
Anyway, it will remain. Now I see you said that there are more rapes there, so we see one thing that this world which
इस पे वो कादर मुतलक है, जिसकी मर्जी के बगैर पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता, ओमनीपोटेंट है, ये दुनिया चल कैसे रही है? और इस दुनिया का हाल क्या है? 45,000 बच्चे जो 10 साल की उम्र से कम थे, वो गाजा में मरे। भूख से काला हांडी में बच्चे मरते हैं और डिप्थेरिया से मरते हैं। डिप्थेरिया अजीब मर्ज है, गले में जाली बनना शुरू होती है, बच्चा नीला हो जाता है, गरीब का बच्चा, इसलिए कि उपास इलाज में। ये कादर मुतलक है जो चाहे कर दे, इससे आप दुआएं मांगते हैं हमारी ये काम कर दे वो कर दे, तो इसका मतलब डे टू डे लाइफ में वो इंटरफेयर करता है और ये देख रहा है वो। अगर वो वाकई भी है फॉर डिस्कशन सेक, तो मैं जब दुनिया देखता हूं तो मेरे दिल में उसके लिए कोई इज्जत नहीं पैदा होती। ये क्या कर रहे हो तुम पूरे ऑल पावरफुल हो, ओमनीपोटेंट हो, ओमनी प्रेजेंट हो, तुम तो वहां गाजा में रहे होगे ना, तुम हर जगह हो। तुम देख रहे थे कि बच्चे की कैसे धज्जियां उड़ रही, तुम देख रहे थे और तुम चाहते हो मैं तुम्हारी परस्तिश करूंगा, तुम हो भी। अरे यार, इसके अच्छे तो हमारे चीफ प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं, कुछ तो ख्याल करते हैं। कमाल है, आप किसकी इबादत कर रहे हैं? अगर वो है भी, ये दुनिया नाइंसाफी से, जुल्म से, जबर से, तशद्दुद से भरी हुई, और आप ये मत कहिएगा कि वो देख रहा है और वो बताएगा एक दिन। अगर वो देख रहा है और इंटरफेयर नहीं करता तो आप दुआ क्यों मांगते? आप कहते हैं मेरा ये काम करा दे, इसके मतलब है वो दखल दे सकता है, वो आपको नौकरी दिलवा सकता है, भले दूसरे आदमी को न मिले, मगर आपका काम कर देगा चूंकि आपने दुआ मांगी है। तो जब वो आपको नौकरी दिला सकता है, लड़की की शादी कर सकता है, बेटे को ग्रीन कार्ड दिलवा सकता है, तो कम से कम ये जो मर रहे हैं बच्चे इनको रोक दे, कुछ तो करे। मुझे तो दुनिया में इस दुनिया का कोई मालिक है, इसका ओमनीपोटेंट कोई रूलर है, और ये दुनिया ऐसी चल रही है। मैं तो चाहूंगा कि भाई ना हो, अगर हो तो बड़ी शर्मिंदगी की बात है। शुक्रिया।
देवियों और सज्जनों, इस बहस के 2 राउंड और 2 रिबटल पूरे हो चुके हैं। अब सबसे ज़रूरी और सबसे मुश्किल राउंड शुरू हो रहा है, क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन का। अब इन विद्वानों की सज्जनता की एक परख भी होगी, और वक्त हमने 16 मिनट का तय किया है। पहला सवाल आप पूछना चाहेंगे? जी बिल्कुल।
पहले बोले भी
आप माइक ले लीजिएगा हाथ में, ये नीचे से ऑन जी। मैं बोलता हूँ, ये डायस हटा सकते हैं क्या हम थोड़ा क्विकली?